I hear you talking about the Lamont Roach Jr. versus Pitbull Cruz fight. I'm gonna
Yeah.
play. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna play devil's advocate tonight.
All right, go ahead.
So I personally think Lamont Roach Jr. won that fight. I could understand, depending on how you judge boxing, you could judge forward pressure. If I was watching boxing with somebody like my stepdad, who is one of those guys who hated Floyd Mayweather, who thought he lost all his fights because he was running all the time, which realistically, that wasn't what was really going on. It was boxing. Not comparing that to Lamont Roach Jr., but I feel like I was judging it, from just pure boxing, just purest boxing. Just thinking who was countering more, who was hitting each other more, who looked like they were dictating the fight. And at times, Pitbull Cruz looked like he was dictating the fight. Don't get me wrong. Um, I thought Pitbull Cruz won the first round. I thought he came out and won the second round. I thought he came out and won the third round, 10-8 round. You know what I mean? Dropping him. But in the fourth round, I thought Lamont Roach Jr. actually came back pretty strong. In my opinion, it was kind of dumb because we seen the blueprint from Jose Venezuela. We seen the blueprint from other fighters, let it on a guy like Pitbull Cruz, but Lamont Roach Jr. wasn't necessarily fighting like all these other guys fought him. He was standing in the pocket almost, in my opinion, like he was trying to prove something.
Yeah, he was trying to prove something. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and it was bothering me, but at the same time, it was also impressive. I thought he won the fourth round. I thought Cruz won the fifth round. Then I thought Lamont Roach Jr. won the sixth round. He won the seventh, and I thought he won 8, 9, and 10. I thought he started going on a roll. He started going on a flow. And arguably, this is why I think Lamont Roach Jr. won this fight. Trust me, I made a video on it, man, and I got some crazy comments from
Yeah,
Pitbull Cruz fans and stuff. Trust me.
yeah.
But this is just my personal opinion. I respect everybody's opinion. No hard feelings towards anybody. But I thought Lamont Roach Jr. won round 11, even though in the end of the round, Pitbull Cruz, had that little flurry. Some people thought that stole the round. I still thought Lamont Roach Jr. won round 11. Round 12 for sure was Pitbull Cruz's round. So, therefore, I had Lamont Roach Jr. winning by 1 round. But I could see if you gave Pitbull Cruz round 11, round 12, rounds 1, 2, 3, and 5, plus the 10-8. That is a draw. Right there, that's a draw. So I was pretty in line with the fact that it was going to be a draw or it was going to be Lamont Roach Jr. winning the fight. You know what I mean? Now, what did you think and what was your scorecards? Because I just want to compare scorecards.
So, I mean, my scorecard was just like yours in a sense, bro. But I said this, my scorecard was just like yours, bro. No cap. And but here's the thing, right? This is what the difference was, right? So like when round 12, I felt like Pitbull took off, I would say four. I can't remember because I don't have it in front of me no more. But I feel like it was a point where Pitbull Cruz took off in the middle rounds. He took off. He started going backwards. He started going like this and doing weird stuff. And me, I can't really understand. Like they didn't either because I watched the fight without the sound, so I won't be persuaded in my judgment from what the commentators are saying. I don't know, and I don't know if you had the commentary on. But you can tell me, did Pitbull Cruz corner tell him to like slow down, to do something different? Like, what is it? Because it's like he took those rounds off. He started going to a plan B, whereas plan A was really working. Or is it that Pitbull Cruz needs to work on his stamina? Because I've noticed in Pitbull Cruz fights, by time round 5 come around, he's heavily breathing and he's worn out. So if you ask me about my scorecard, let me get to you real quick. You asked me about my scorecard, I would say I had him winning in the beginning of the rounds, and then the middle rounds I had like Lamont Roach winning those, and then like the last rounds Pitbull sort of kind of like won me over a little bit. And so
Yeah.
I say this, right? And I'm gonna come to an end and I'm gonna let you go. I say this. I'm right when the end of the 12th round, I was on live. You can go back and watch me. I was on live. I said it's gonna be a draw. And guess what? And this was right before the fight ended. I said it's gonna be a draw. And what happened? It ended up in a draw. And this is the last thing I'm gonna say. Lamont Roach hit the canvas, right? Glove hit the canvas, right?
Yes.
Boom.
Round
That's
3.
2 points. That's 2 points. Eastside Pitbull Cruz gets a point deducted.
Round 7.
If that point don't get deducted, Eastside Pitbull Cruz wins the fight based off the judges saying it's a draw.
That's true. That's true. I won't argue with that. You know, if that's the way it went down. But Pitbull Cruz was definitely being a dirty fighter in there, man. Hey,
Somebody was saying that, but here's my thing on that. That headbutt. I agree, that shit was dirty. But here's the thing:
the shoulder bump where he was like, and then he tried to play it off like he wasn't doing nothing.
Yeah, that's some dirty ish that he did. I agree with you 100%. My only thing is the low blows. His team need to work on that because that is a known thing that he low blows.
Yeah.
But have you seen Pitbull in real life? Have you ever seen him in real life?
I haven't seen him in real life, but I would imagine he's a small guy, so his body shots are a little lower.
Thank you, bro. MMA, bro, you my guy. I swear.
Yeah, that's simple boxing mechanics thoughts right there. So if when he's going up against a guy taller than him, he's gonna have to actually pick up those body shots, and they might become headshots into him. And sometimes it's kind of hard to do that.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. Pitbull Cruz is really, bro. I'm 5'7". Pitbull Cruz gotta be. I'm short. I'm 5'7". But I ain't gonna say I'm short, but I'm a natural guy, right? Pitbull Cruz is like 4'2". Bro is short. I met him in real life, bro. He is short. So this is what I was explaining to JMO 45. He was calling him a dirty fighter. I'm saying, bro, yeah, okay, can he be dirty? Yes, but the low blows, he's swinging upward to guys that are bigger than him. Now, Roach is not that much taller than him, but he's still fighting upward. So he's going to accidentally hit him in a low blow, bro.
Yeah, but technically, it is a low blow. It is something that Pitbull Cruz needs to work on. But I wasn't necessarily tripping out about the hip hits. I wasn't necessarily tripping about that. I was more tripping about the headbutts and the shoulder butts. That is when I seen Pitbull Cruz give him the shoulder, I said to myself, "Oh, bro, that is dirty right there. Like that is like what? Like if I was Lamont, he actually didn't react all crazy. But if that was me, I'd have been like, what? Hey, what the? Yeah, I mean, but it was a great fight, man. Now, one thing that I was thinking about during that fight was, Pitbull Cruz, man, he kept his WBC interim bout, right?
Right.
Lamont Roach Jr. fought Gervonta Tank Davis. That fight was a draw. Gervonta kept his bout, right? Lamont ain't doing enough to win these fights, decisively. That is the problem when it comes down to it, because no matter what, I thought Lamont Roach Jr. won the fight, but that's why I was saying that I don't find no disrespect by anybody that thinks Cruz won, and I don't find no disrespect that anybody thinks it was a draw, because I'm watching boxing. I know who the world champions are. You are the contender. You're coming up to their weight class. You're competing against them. They tell you all the time. That's one thing that they teach us all the time is do not let this go to the judges, and if you do, make it decisive. And the problem with Lamont Roach Jr. is he didn't make it decisive enough against Gervonta Tank Davis, even though, I mean, the whole 9th round knockdown, him touching the glove, them not ruling out a knockdown, that sucks. That sucks. But in this Isaac Pitbull Cruz fight, the same exact thing, man. Like, I only had him winning by 1 round. So, and you're going up against a chap, Lamont, you ain't doing enough.
That is true, bro. I agree with you 100%. MMA, bro, you got to become my co-host, bro. I swear, bro.
Hey, the plan is that when I move out, when me and my girl and my son get in a better situation, I'm gonna start going live again the same way you do.
Yeah,
and I would love to do that. I would love to do that where we're live, because I do the live commentary too during the UFC fights.
Yeah.
I'll tune in to the boxing one while you're in there real quick, give you some, some quick thoughts and stuff like that.
Bro, you can school me on the UFC, bro, and I can school you on the boxing shit, bro. Yeah, real talk, bro. Like real.
You start seeing a little some boxing creators starting to get into UFC a little bit now
Yeah,
because
bro. My people telling me to get into UFC, bro. So I'm like, I'm trying. I'm learning. The
yeah,
thing
it's
is, I'm
it's
old
hard.
now, bro. I'm old now, bro. And I can't stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning no more, bro.
Bro, it is ridiculously hard. Trust me. Like when I first took on doing UFC and boxing, I thought it was gonna be a piece of cake. Dude, it is way harder than I thought because there's so many people that are masters at boxing. So I gotta compete with these type of people. I gotta know what's going on in the sport. I gotta, from my experience with boxing, I gotta know how fighters fight, and mechanically everything. And then for UFC, I went back and watched UFC 1 through 50. Right now I'm on UFC 56 and I just studied it. I've been watching UFC for the last 6 years. So what I'm doing is going back and watching all the history so I could, become a master, and just know every single UFC, every single thing that comes out with that. And then with boxing, the same way how I talk with you and, we talk online. I always go live on TikTok and I talk with people. It's like we're going to school. You know what I
Right.
mean? And me, I don't consider myself a master boxing guy. I'm not over here claiming that, but I like to listen to guys that are masters, the guys that know everything about the sport from Mike Tyson, to Muhammad Ali, everything that had to go into that. And I like to listen off these guys and I like to study off these guys because I'm only 27, man.
Yeah.
There's guys that are in this creation that are 40 years old that just have years over us because they're older than us. That's just how it is. Someday they're gonna be out the game. Someday we're gonna be 50 and we're gonna know twice as much as all these other guys who barely starting their content creators. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, man, the UFC, bro. Like, what I do is I see me. I can't nobody call me biased. So when I pick my fighter, I say this person go win. What I do is so let's like when I didn't know nothing about Alex Perez. God, damn.
Yeah.
When I didn't know nothing about him, I looked up him, and then I looked up Roundtree, and then
Khalil
it was
Roundtree. Yeah, he's cool, man.
Roundtree, and then I looked up
All those
everybody
guys.
everybody was saying that what was his name? Adesanya was gonna beat
Israel.
no, he was gonna beat
Israel Adesanya. That's his name.
Duplexy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. When he fought DDP.
I said, bro, he's not gonna win. I said, bro, from when I went back and watched, I said, bro, one thing that I noticed about him is that he's a show off, bro. He just show off for the camera, bro. And guess what?
Yeah.
Duplexy won, bro. I got that shit right. Bro, I got all
Uh,
my UFC picks right so far, bro. I haven't lost not one UFC pick so far, bro. Because I'm not coming from a biased perspective. I go back and I watch their fights, both fighters. I go back and watch who this person, who all they fought. Then I go
yeah.
back and watch who all this person fought. And then I say, no, this person is gonna win.
Yeah, man. That's funny, man. For real, dude. That's tight right there. That's tight right there.
Hey, let me ask you a couple more questions. I know you probably got to go, bro. Just why I got you on. Hey, man, what did you watch the Laura fight too?
Oh nah, I didn't get to watch that fight
You get
yet,
to
bro.
watch
I still
that one?
gotta watch that fight. Yep, I still gotta watch that one. I just seen Ocean Keek Foster, Cook Fulton, and I
Yeah, he
seen
cooked. He
the
cooked.
Pitbull Cruz one. So yeah, I haven't made a video on that one yet neither. I gotta go watch it back and watch it. The only reason why I didn't watch it was because during that time there was it was the co-main event for
Right.
UFC. They had a
Oh,
pay-per-view,
yeah,
so
yeah,
it
yeah,
was pretty
yeah,
big.
yeah.
And when I had heard the news that Janabek Alim Halala failed his drug test for Maldonium, I was like, what? And then I seen that they were putting in Johan Gonzalez, and I already know Johan Gonzalez. I know, what is he, 36 and 4, 34 KOs. But the thing that I always said about Johan was when you look at his record, when you go to BoxRec and you look at Johan Gonzalez's record from the fight that he had with Jesus Ramos, from then on, below that, he was fighting guys with nothing but losing records.
Hmm.
So I understand. Oh, this guy, what was he, 34 and 32 KOs at one time. But when you look at his goddamn resume, the guys he was fighting, it was padded.
Yeah.
Kind of like Edgar Berlanga. Edgar Berlanga started his career hot. What breaking Mike Tyson numbers, was on the verge of doing that. And then all of a sudden now he's at the higher echelon and fighting really good fighters. It's a little bit different. So when I seen Johan Gonzalez stepped in against Erislandy Lara, I said to myself, who won that fight, by the way?
Laura won, bro.
There you go. That's exactly what I was
I'm
saying. I
happy
was
he
thinking.
won, bro.
I
I'm
said
happy he
Erislandy
won.
Lara was gonna win this fight easily because
But that dude,
Johan Gonzalez. Johan is not good. Like Johan ain't good at all, bro. Everybody was like, "Oh, he beat Jarrett Hurd," but that was Jarrett Hurd at 160 pounds. That wasn't Jarrett Hurd at 154 pounds. Completely different.
Right, right,
I
right,
hate a
right.
lot of people were trying to use that argument. It's like, bro, Jarrett Hurd was on the. He already retired. That was his retirement fight. This was Jarrett Hurd when he was at 154 pounds was actually weight bullying dudes. He was a lot bigger than these guys and was able to use his pressure, you know what I mean? Use his power and stuff like that.
Right.
Um, and yeah, man. So I felt like when I seen Johan, I said to myself, you know what? I'm not gonna watch that fight. I got a bigger fight to watch. I'll go ahead and go back to Erislan Delore and Janabek. I mean, and Johan when I got time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So tell me, how did the fight go? How did the fight go?
Man, you know what? I think Ursula Lara did good, man. I just didn't like the fact that his coach, like, I actually, because I watch it without no sound, and then the next day I go back and I watch it with sound, and you can hear his coach telling him, slow down, don't throw no punches, go around the ring. What the fuck? How you telling your fighter not to throw punches? That shit is crazy to me, man.
That's
That,
why he lost. I mean, yeah,
I
that
mean, he
sucks,
won
man.
the
He
fight though. It was kind of like it was getting boring. Like that whole fight card, it was like only like in a fight, only one fighter was showing up. Lara showed up. Foster showed up.
Yeah,
You
no
know,
competitive.
it was no competitive spirit, bro. It's like, okay, man. It's like at this point, bro, Foster, go ahead and get cool boy stuff out of there, bro. Like you
And that was crazy how what went down with Oshaki Foster and Stephen Fulton in the first place. How Fulton missed weight.
and then got a title shot. What
Yeah, he missed weight at 100. What was it? 130 pounds. So instead of just that's just how it's gonna be. They're like, you know what? Let's make it a WBC interim 135-pound bout. And I,
Right.
dude, I don't look, man. I don't have anything to say about sanctioning bodies and this and that.
But they want us to respect them and pay the sanctioning fees. Like, come on, bro.
How do you respect these guys? When you look at the WBC heavyweight rankings, their
Yeah.
number one ranked fighter, they're you know how they're enforcing him to fight Moses Atama, Lawrence Okoli? You
Uh-huh.
seen that?
Mm-hmm.
How is Lawrence Okoli the number one rated fighter in the WBC heavyweight division? This guy has only fought in the heavyweight division 3 times, and who has he beat?
But
I
no,
don't. Some of
but
the rankings and some of the stuff when it comes down to it, I don't understand it.
right,
Especially
right,
like
right. But,
I
but
don't understand it, man.
but check this out though. I got one even crazier for you. They stopped Earl Spence Jr. from fighting at 154 against Sebastian Fundora because Earl Spence had never fought at the 154-pound division, and he was coming off of a loss. But if we rewind that, fast forward it, they granting Ryan Garcia a fight at 147, and he never fought at 147-pound division ever, bro. He fought at 145, but he
Yep.
never fought at 140, 147. And to grant him a championship, bro.
And Earl
Dude,
Spence Jr. only has one loss. You know what I mean?
dude, that's a fact. But dude came off of cheating, Austrian his body, and a loss, and you granting this dude a WBC. I mean, you granting this dude a fight against Mario Barrios, but you want us to respect the WBC? Nigga, get the out of here.
Yeah, that's 100%, 100%, bro. When it's Ryan Garcia is literally 1-2-1 in his last 4 fights. Not only did he lose to Raleigh Romero, but and missed weight by 4 pounds against Devin Haney and have Austrian in his body, but he beat Oscar Duarte. But before that,
Yeah,
this guy lost to Javante Tank Davis. I
he did.
mean,
He did. And then check this out, though, bro. I got a question. Like, you just don't get on Austrian, bro. You just don't get on Austrian for one fight. How many of them fights? Because Duarte was a strong, big dude. No Diddy.
yeah, for real. He's
Was he
good
on
right now. He looks
Austrian,
good right now.
dude? Was he on Austrian then when he went up against Duarte? I'm just saying, bro. But
Yeah, you never know, man. And when you start talking about that, it starts getting interesting. Because also, speaking of the WBC, you got Abueto. I mean, you got Sabril Matias, who
Matias.
just I understand. Look it, bro. I understand that there's a threshold, right? You can't be at that certain percent. You got to be under that percentage, right?
Even put it in your
But
body.
is it possible that my dude was, cycling on and off and maybe had a little percentage, maybe is using Austrain to train, and during his months off, maybe is using drugs to get superiorly faster, to get better, to get better everywhere, and then cycling off slowly as the fight comes, as the drug tests come, and it just, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's just, I feel like, how can you have drugs in your system and it just be okay, and then let fights go on? And what if Sabril Matias, I mean, kills Dalton Smith? I understand. Look, this is also another thing. I think Sabril Matias, what he does to guys in the ring, anyways, he always assaults guys. I mean, he's
Yeah,
always beating these dudes down. That's what he does. But I wonder now, what is Austrian doing in his body? Is it the W? Is it somebody else? Is it Eddie Hearn? Is it Dalton Smith and them? Are they just playing games? Is it corruption? I honestly can't sit here and tell you what exactly it is, but I just find it weird that it is in your system. I
yeah,
just find that weird, man. You know what
yeah.
I mean? I'm not trying to bash the guy. I like Sabril Matias' style. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, rules are rules. But personally, I think Janabek is a cheater, bro. I
Yeah,
think Janabek with Maldonium in his system, you can't even have a certain percentage when it
yeah.
comes to that drug in your system. And somebody like him, when you actually look up what Maldonium does and you see what kind of fighter Janabek is, the weight bully that he is, him having to be hospitalized before trying to make the 160-pound division,
Crazy.
having fights not going through. When you hear that he's taking Maldonium, you say to yourself, "Oh, I completely understand.
Yeah.
He
They
he
really
needs
want that.
that."
They
You
really
need
want that belt off of Erison London Laura, bro. Hey, look, just to get back on topic to the Roach and Cruz,
Yeah.
57% of the people think that Roach won, 24% of the people think that Cruz won, and 19% of the people think that it was a draw. Oh man, that's crazy. But I think that was a good fight. Tank saying that he want to snatch the fight from Roach
Ah,
and go out the East Side Pitbull Cruz, and we get Tank versus Cruz too. I'm not interested in it. I really want to see Roach versus Cruz again, and then the winner gets Tank. That's how
yeah,
I.
I respect that. That'd be tight. That'd be tight if we could do that. If
Yeah,
nobody picks Javante Tank Davis because the money, and
yeah,
instead they handle it, because of their heart, mano a mano. I feel like that's what Javante Tank Davis ain't doing. I pushed it a lot on my channel when I first started my channel. I'm a big Javante Tank Davis fan, but over these last couple months, dude, I just I can't back him up.
yeah. And
It's
let's
when
do a realist, bro, because most Tank Davis fans, you can't say not one word of bad about him, bro. Like you can't criticize him. Like look what he said about Cameron, bro. He says, ask Cameron how does his throat feel? Like that is crazy, bro. And then he goes off and says that Lamont Roach is a gatekeeper.
I don't think he's a gatekeeper, bro. When you look at the WBC rankings, when you look at the Ring Magazine rankings, that's what they say are the real rankings in the sport of boxing. Go look at the top 10 and tell me Lamont Roach Jr. can't be a top 5 fighter in this division. I would
Nah,
like to see him. I would like to see Lamont Roach Jr. fight Sander Martin. They still got Sander Martin ranked up
yeah.
there. You know, I don't, man. I think you look at a guy like Oscar Duarte. That's a gatekeeper in the
Yeah.
140-pound division.
Yeah.
Oscar
Yeah.
Duarte,
See,
that's the type of dude that you feed
I
to
ain't gonna
him.
lie. I'm gonna tell you
And,
who else might be a gatekeeper, bro. You probably won't agree with me.
who?
Shit. I'm gonna say Mario Barrios. Yeah, because Mario Barrios, bro, he was losing those fights. And he stuck with the last fight he had in like Dallas when he was on the when he was over there at the AT&T Stadium. I actually went to that fight, bro. And he barely won that fight. They gave it to him. And then he stuck a draw with Manny Pacquiao. That shit crazy, bro. Like how you stick a draw with Manny Pacquiao. Shit.
That's true. I mean, I don't know if he's a gatekeeper, but he is in the 147-pound division. So, like, that'd be a little bit different. But in the 140-pound division, I definitely don't think Lamont Roach Jr. is a gatekeeper, bro. I think he could.
The gatekeeper.
Who do you think wins? Lamont Roach Jr. or Richardson Hitchens? Ooh, Richardson Hitchens outboxes him.
I don't know, man. I gotta go back and watch some more of the Richard. I gotta go back and watch some more Hitchison fights, man, because
And
I
that's
just
why I say Richardson.
I've been seeing a lot of talking from him, man, and not too much action, bro. So I gotta go back.
Yeah,
Like, his fights are not memorable. Like, give me
yeah,
something. If you say Lamont Roach fights are memorable because he went
yeah,
toe-to-toe with Tank, and it was like, give me something where we talked about Hitchison fight. Name one fight that we talked about over and over
yeah.
again. It's
I like
not memorable.
I like the fight with Liam Peru, but a lot of people don't know anybody who he's fought for a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
And so that's what I'm saying. Like when they're talking about gatekeepers, I'm like, well, is he a gatekeeper? Because you look at the division of who the world champions are. Richardson Hitchens is a champion at the 140-pound weight class. So is Lamont really a gatekeeper? I really don't think so, bro. A gatekeeper is somebody who's ranked, in 8 through 10, who is not allowing certain people to get into the higher echelon of fighters. And that's how it is. A gatekeeper is not somebody who's competing against Javante Tank Davis, against Pitbull
Right.
Cruz. What are they thinking? That Pitbull Cruz sucks or something? Just because he has a loss to Jose Venezuela? Styles make fights. And at the end of the day, Isaac Pitbull Cruz is a solid, great fighter at this weight class. And
He's the pay-per-view star, bro. I don't care with nobody. I'm surprised PBC ain't pushed him to be that star. Like, he's the next Canelo. Yes, David Benavidez is too, but Cruz is like that real Hispanic guy that they can sell, bro. But they just need to sell him, bro. They just need to sell him, man.
I know I feel like it's kind of hard because just the fights that he's getting into, like, I think he needs one of those Julio Cesar Chavez moments, bro, where he's getting beat up in the 12th round. He pulls off some spectacular knockout and he becomes a legend like that. So far in the biggest fights of his career, he's lost. The only person that he beat, was Rolly Romero. Personally, like big fighters with big names.
Right.
Rolly Romero.
I honestly think Cruz beat Tank, bro. But it could have been Tank didn't win it. It could have been a draw, or Cruz won that fight. I'm not saying that. I don't want it to come off saying like I'm Cruz. But if you be realistic, bro, I challenge you, MMA boxing. I challenge you to go and watch that fight, bro, and without the sound, and you tell me who really won that fight.
I gotta do that because I watched that fight and I thought Javante Tank Davis won that fight. But I'll try it. I'll definitely rewatch it without watching it. Maybe I'll think about it differently. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you judge fights differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. All right, man. I think
you for coming on, man. I'm gonna let you get back to your son, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, he's calling me already. I was just about to tell you, bro.
All right, man. You have a good one.
All
man.
right, thank you, man. Thank you, bro. I'll be on next time.
All right. Yo, man, that's my boy MMA Boxing, man. Hey, listen, man. Listen. Lamont Roach versus Tank. I don't think we get it, but I do hope we get Lamont Roach versus Eastside Pitbull Cruz 2. I think that's a better fight, man. My boy DT says Roach ending these fights well, but these premier fighters is always going to get the benefit of the doubt. Roach has to control beginning and end against big names. That is true. You definitely got to control it from the beginning to the end, and you can't take your foot off. And when they take their foot off, you got to be dominant. It's got to be something memorable that we was like, nah, bro, they robbed him. Like, let's just say, let's just say, O'Shea Foster would have lost that fight. We would have been like, nah, they robbed him. It's nothing to me. Roach ain't being dominant enough in order for us to say, oh, they robbed him. Like, in your mind, you think you did enough. But, bro, you really didn't. You just did enough to get the draw. Hey, man, I'm your host, LD, the kid. And you tuning into Likeable Dialogue. Hey, what's up, guys? This your boy LD, the kid. And you tuning into Likeable Dialogue. Hey, guys, that part of the segment was called Subscriber Questions, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to press the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed, and don't forget to press the like button so everybody can participate in that, right? Press the like button, please. That helps the channel grow, okay? And listen, don't forget to press that subscribe button. Great show. Thank you, guys. It's your boy LD. You tuning into Likeable Dialogue.
Press that subscribe button and stay tuned for more on Likeable Dialogue.
Likeable Dialogue. Hey, make sure y'all following us on Instagram. Make sure y'all following us on TikTok, Facebook, Likeable Dialogue Boxing. And hey man, make sure y'all following us on social media, man. I appreciate you guys, man. And hit that like, hit that subscribe button.